Space, the final frontier. This is a review show for Star Trek The Next Generation. Its continuing mission to explore interesting plot points, to seek out goofs and continuity errors, to boldly go where no other TNG review show has gone before. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the TNG review show. Hey. Yeah, there you go. Good evening, everyone. It's us. We're back for another episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. We're consigning it to our vault with myself, Montalban, Mazima Bob, and Chief Sean, but at the moment, no Tavikins.
No Tavikins.
We don't know where our
Tammy
Tavikins.
is MIA.
Yeah, she's AWOL. Yeah.
AWOL.
Yeah. So, we'll try to find out where Tavikins has got to and make sure she's okay. But yes, we're back. Violations this week. So we're in for a fun time with this episode. Whoop, whoop. Mazima Bob, how are you this week?
I'm good, thank you.
Jolly good.
Nothing exciting to report, just busy with work.
You're being run ragged.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I've got a report that's due and I'm presenting it for the first time tomorrow, and I spent a lot of time on the weekend writing it, a lot of time yesterday and last night, all day today, just trying to get it finished. It's like writing a dissertation or an essay or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. So I'm that kind of ragged. It's just annoying more than anything.
But the biggest question that I think everybody's going to want to know in live chat is, how were you after last week's episode?
Well, yes, I was not feeling too good the next day, I must say. In fact, I think I had a hangover for 2 days.
The TNG review show give you a 2-day hangover.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
It was slightly traumatic, yeah.
Slightly traumatic. It was when you said you can only open one eye.
I know, I was like, my eye is not working. Oh, that one works, but I can't get them both to work at the same time. That was my Thursday.
Yeah.
I was doing like 15 minutes of work and go and have another lay down.
Yeah.
I did not do much billable work at all last Thursday.
No, it was fun though. It was fun.
It was.
It was fun.
Good time.
The lady of the moment has arrived backstage, fashionably late, but looking fantastic as always. We welcome to the studio, Tavykins.
Abby McTav.
Sorry I'm late.
How are you, my darling? You well?
Doing good. Glad I made it on time. My accoutrements started falling off as I was getting ready, so I kept running around and I ended up on the floor looking for the backings.
Oh no! Talking of which, I have received a promotion.
Oh!
I got new rank pins, so I am now a full-fledged captain. Check out the 4 pips. So
There are 4 pips.
There are 4. Yeah.
We're gonna take you onto the holodeck and have you walk the plank and.
Oh yes, from the sailing ship Enterprise. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we were just discussing how hungover Mazim Bob was on Thursday and Friday following last week's show.
Oh.
She felt very pulley.
Well, we got to see an image of her waking up in the morning, and I wish that I looked that adorable when I'm hungover. She just looked flushed
Your
and
camera
pouty.
seems to have gone off, Tavi. I don't know why.
Oh,
You've gone to darkness.
Could see you, but yes, it is just a blank screen now.
I haven't
Yeah,
done
you're
anything.
like
Wookie wants to know
that.
what you got promoted for, Monty. What did you do? He needs details.
What did I do? I'll tell you what I did. I drank a whole bottle of Brennivin and managed to escape any hangover. That's what I did, which quite frankly
that's promotable, yeah.
was quite frankly a minor miracle. I don't know how I managed
Impressive.
that. Yeah. So, yes, for that I got a promotion. Yeah. Good evening, Sean. Chief Sean. How you doing?
Hey, how you getting on? Oh, good.
Well, you had a good week?
Please do. Yeah, I was just saying to you backstage, having a nice fight at work because they decided that we all have to be in the office again for some reason, despite the fact we were getting on just fine the last 3 years. And yeah, if you don't know where I live about 3 hours from my office, so that's going to be fun. It's always good when you go to work and you have to just spend all your time fighting and not actually working. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
With that, do we have Tavi? We still have a dark screen, Tavi.
Yeah, she was here
Can we
briefly.
hear you now? We can still hear you, can we?
No, I can't hear you now either.
Oh no, it's
sorry,
it's
Tavs.
one of those weeks where Tavs is having.
We had 1 week where it was all perfect,
Yeah.
and now sadly, it's no longer.
Yeah. No, I can't. Well, whilst
Shall we
she's sorting
continue with the
herself out,
show?
yeah, let's carry on. So, don't forget, if you're watching, please remember to hit the like button, and do us a favour. Smash the like button and all that good stuff. But yes, we are here to talk about Violations this evening, which is the 12th episode of season 5. Production. Oh, I'll tell you what. I didn't say hello to live chat. Good evening, live chat. Good evening to you all out there in live chat land. Good evening, Wookie and Ruth and Stu Plum. And I know my wrench is around somewhere, but she hasn't said hello yet. But Tabikins is still working it out. Okay, so yes, good evening to everyone in live chat. Thank you for joining us as always. Yes, so production number 40275-212. It was first aired in the US on the 3rd of February 1992, and it's the 111th episode to be both produced and released. So TNG still continuing with their strict schedule of producing them and sticking them out the door. The teleplay was by... Yeah, it's just really, really good. I mean... I watch a lot
and
of
then
these, like,
and then not
series.
releasing it in the UK or Ireland for another 3-4 years.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I watch a lot of these like seasons breakdowns, like on other shows, like I don't know, Battlestar Galactica or Knight Rider or 18 or something, and the order that they shoot them in is in a completely different order to what they release them. But with TNG, it's like really they've got the process weighed off.
Yeah, episodic. They keep it. They do it week by week.
The teleplay was by Pamela Gray, who this is the only teleplay she wrote for TNG, and along with Jerry Taylor, who we've talked about many times, and this is the 9th of 17 writing credits for TNG. The original story by Cherie Goodhart. This is the 3rd episode that she created for TNG. Third
There's also
3.
Care Bear.
Care Bear? That don't get on.
I said she was also a Care Bear.
Was she a Care Bear? What, she did the voice, did she?
No, she just sounds like her name sounds like she was a Care Bear. Never mind, you can give
Sherry
me
Goodharts. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you can give me one of those dongs for that one.
Yeah,
That
okay, there you go. I'll give you.
That was a bit of a Led Zeppelin there.
Yeah.
Look, he's saying if this particular episode was meant to be a comedy, I didn't find it that funny. No, it definitely wasn't supposed to be a comedy.
No.
It was supposed to be more like an Alfred Hitchcock horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, like Psycho or something like that. Yes, she last done that one. She wrote the episode where another Troy episode where she was like suspended in flying through the clouds. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wrote that episode.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Was it that one?
Yeah. And
Not well remembered.
We've got something reminiscent of that later on, but yes. Anyway, the story was a collaboration with T. Michael. That was just his one and only one, and Pamela Gray. Again, only episodes they had any writing credits on. It was directed by Robert Weimer. It was his 3rd of 8. Data's Day being the last episode he directed.
And as we mentioned last week, the cast were informed of Gene Roddenberry's death whilst filming. This was the first episode produced following his death, and the call sheet, one of the call sheets for Thursday, 31st of October, noted that on Friday production would shut down at 1 p.m. for Gene Roddenberry's memorial service, which was held at 2 p.m.
Yeah, I can imagine that's great fun for the actors. Like, Michael Dorn has his full Klingon makeup that takes 2 hours to get off. So, just at the edge of at the back of the funeral, there's just a Klingon just sitting over the grave. Very, very strange. I think you give him a little bit more notice than that, but nope.
I think,
Oh, dear.
that, that would be very Star Trek, though, wouldn't it?
Well, actually, there was a story where once or twice people went home in their makeup. Famously, Andrew Robinson, who played Garak, there was an earthquake, and he drove home to see how his family were, because all the phones and all the power went and something. And he was driving through the place, and all the lights had failed, but every set of lights he came to, and cars were just literally buzzing across each other, he just went straight through. Everyone saw an alien driving a car and just backed off and let him straight through. So he had no traffic problems at all. He just got out.
Apparently, Tavikin's Firefox's browser's updated, and now her PC doesn't recognize her camera anymore. Don't.
Sounds bad.
Yeah.
Try Chrome.
Yeah.
Or
I was going to say try
Opera.
Chrome.
Opera. Try Oprah. No, that's a
Opera.
Chancellor host. Opera. Oh, and by the way, I do have some.
Yeah.
I have some blood wine this evening in my red Star Trek tumbler.
I could say this was
Nice.
cider or something, but it's not. It's cream soda.
Yeah.
In my cold tiki
that big
tiki
cider.
glasses with a tiki tiki face. You see
Yeah.
his tiki tiki
It's
face?
tiki face. You're still traumatized from last week, aren't you?
Yeah, well, we also drank a lot on Saturday, so
that's
I
true.
just thought I'm out again on Friday. I thought I'd just give my liver a little bit of a break this week.
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that. Wookie, very funny. Yes. I thought that about the prequels until they made the sequels, and now the prequels don't look so bad. So there you go.
Yeah, we always kind of appreciate things like Enterprise 20 years later. Is that just the case? We keep making worse and worse Trek, and then we look back retrospectively, go, it wasn't so bad.
Enterprise
Well, it
wasn't
worked
so
for
bad.
me. Yeah. Because I didn't like Enterprise when it came out.
I didn't. No.
But since Discovery and everything, I've gone back and watched Enterprise, and I quite like it now.
It's actually Star Trek,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
it is actually Star Trek. At least it's got that
they
going for it.
they actually went on adventures and had standalone episodes, and things happened. It was great. None of that happens anymore.
It wasn't perfect.
Took a long...
Ironically, it just found its feet when they cancelled it.
Yeah. And then for the last season, which is the best one, they only had a third of the budget of the previous seasons, and it was just brilliant. I don't know.
Anyway, one thing I noticed...
It was a long road getting from there to here.
It was a long road. Yeah. One thing I noticed about this shot here, this opening shot, as we had the captain's log at the beginning, for whatever reason, they duplicated the star field in the background, so you can see like these stars here are a mirror image of these stars here.
Yes. They're tiled.
These two stars here, these two stars here, and like this cluster here is this cluster here. You can see that it's actually like a mirror image of, like, there's a line down here where it's like, why would they do that? Of all the production things that they put into this, why create a really rubbish?
I would imagine early 90s they just tiled the image, data limitations or some such thing. I would imagine.
Actually, it's modern. It's modern.
Oh, that's the remaster.
It's the remaster. Hey, Tara
Hey!
There you go. Yeah, it's the remaster at Ex Astris. They don't point out the whole Starfield thing, but they do point out that it's a recreated shot. And when you have a look at the original, you can't see it too well there, but it's a completely different Starfield. So
can you just go back to that last page you were on Ex Astris there? Do you see at the top there, it says a joint project written by Jorg Hillebrand and Bernd Schneider. Jorg, I've mentioned him several times. He's the guy who comes up with most of this stuff.
Yeah.
But for the last 2 years, he recently announced it on Twitter. He's been working as a researcher on Star Trek Picard.
All right.
So the people, Terry Metalis reached out to him, Dave Blass, all those people reached out to him on Twitter, and then they were asking him about props and about what way the ghost candle should look and all those things when they were making the current season of Picard. And it came out of exclusively him coming up with spending his spare time putting things like all these little shots together for us to comment on. So I have to say, really nice guy, and it couldn't have happened to someone better. So
Nice.
You'll see his name in the credits of all the episodes of Picard as a researcher.
Nice. I quite liked as well. Has anybody seen Picard yet?
Yeah, I'm up to
You
date.
gave me the homework and I forgot to do it. You can say what you like, though. I don't mind.
No, I'm not going to say too much.
Don't
But,
expect me to have an opinion.
There's no data yet. I'll tell you that much.
No,
Oh.
not yet. Not after 2 episodes.
Or lore.
One nice little touch that I learned from an interview was Worf has a particular Klingon sword in this season of Picard, and it was designed and created by, oh damn it, I've forgotten his name.
Dan Curry.
Dan Curry, yeah.
Yeah,
Because we were just talking about
listened
Dan
to.
Curry in the last episode with his paintings, his matte
in the
paintings.
last episode.
But yeah, he created Worf's sword.
I haven't listened to it yet. He was. I think he created all his swords. He was a martial arts enthusiast. But he has a podcast out this week, the Clone Star podcast. Interviewed him. I haven't listened to it yet, but I will get to it in the next few days.
Yeah.
But
it's just nice that they're bringing back all the old people to contribute, you know.
yeah. They brought out Mike Akuda to do the Akudograms. They brought back Doug Drexler, and as I said, Jorg Hillebrand from Ex Astris. He spent the last 25 years going methodically, straight page by page, frame by frame through all these things. They brought him back to make sure every prop was accurate. Yeah, they're really making an effort.
Oh, there we go. Is that better? Can you speak now?
Can you hear me now?
Yay!
Yay!
Woohoo!
brilliant. Wookie's gone all pirate with there she be.
Is that coming through that one, is it?
Hi,
Yeah,
Wookie.
it sounds on the bottom one, I think.
Is it? So if I
it
remove
is-
that one, you if you speak now, Tavi. Oh yeah,
No.
definitely that one. Okay. I don't get how that works. How does that work?
I have 2 different logins.
Is this your phone then? Is it?
I'm video on the phone,
Right, video on the phone.
and I'm listening to you guys on the phone.
Right.
So I don't get an echo back on the mic from my PC stereo playing back in the room.
We are getting a small bit of echo off you there, so I
It's
think
tiny.
one of your
It's all right.
devices should be a
Only a tiny
mute.
bit. Only a tiny little
Fine.
bit. Yay! Anyway, we got it working. That's good news. Good news. Marvelous stuff. Okay, so yes, we mentioned the Starfield, done that. We're getting on with the teaser. I haven't even got the teaser yet. Luckily, you haven't. That means you haven't. Oh, I did it in the wrong place. That's not right. You haven't missed the first question, Tarrykins, which is obviously the important thing.
Yay.
There we go. So we're in 10 forward, and Keiko is having a reading with a group of aliens that use telepathic abilities to retrieve long-forgotten memories. But question number 1. What are these aliens called? Is it A, Utani, B, Ubine, C, Yulian, or D, Arsenoid? I will stick that into the Ode chat.
Are you going to have any bonus questions in Spins of the Wheel today?
No bonus quest, just standard today, I'm afraid. No,
G-Star really liked the spinning wheel.
no spins of the wheels. No.
I didn't get to put my drinking on the roster. I'm drinking alcohol-free lemon-flavored beer. I call it
Oh.
beer soda.
That's like going to
I
McDonald's
had
for
an
a salad.
alcohol-free strawberry flavoured cider earlier.
No. Nice.
It was really nice. It was
Nice.
a Copperberg one. Tasted just like the normal Copperberg, but no alcohol.
I've heard that, yeah.
It's good.
Right. The 3 aliens are Inad, Tarmin, and Tarmin's son, Jev. Tarmin is probing Keiko over her memory of a cup, which she knows is important, but she can't remember why. She describes it had a chip on it and says she hears a woman humming. What's wrong?
Wookie says, I tried telepathy once. I strained so hard that I... Never mind. Anyway, I tried telepathy once.
Very good. I will
dear.
give you one of those. Yes. She finds the cup contains a liquid that she tries, but finds it bitter. She also finds the cup contains a paintbrush. Tarmin instructs her to hold the paintbrush out, and when she does, she finds that her Obakan, or grandmother, took it from her. Keiko then remembers that she used to wash her grandmother's brushes while she created Japanese calligraphy, and thanked Tarmin for the pleasurable memory. Tarmin asks the doc if she wants a reading, as she was thinking about her first childhood kiss. But Jev reminds him that he should not probe people without their permission. That is bad. Tarmin tells Jev that whilst he is technically correct, when it comes to a beautiful woman, he just can't help himself. I certainly hope that attitude doesn't rub off on his son.
It was the early 90s. I mean, Weinstein was still a thing back then. That's, you know.
That's true. The doc, though, just laughs the whole thing off. Geordie asks Will if he has any memories he wants digging up, but Will's like, nothing that I want to share with an audience. And let's face it, no audience actually wants to share Will's thoughts.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone could actually probe your thoughts, you'd immediately try not to think about the thing that you definitely don't want them to bring up. which would naturally bring it immediately to the front of your head. Now, it could just be something embarrassing, like, Wookiee's telepathy experiment, or it could just be, like the command codes to destroy the Enterprise. So no matter what you try not to think of, or that the marshmallow thing from Ghostbusters, what when you try not to think of something, you'll end up thinking of something. It's a bit of a paradox.
Yeah. So they all then leave 10 forward as they've done their thing, and they leave Jev looking rather sinister.
My name is Jev.
Yeah. He does a lot of lingering sinister looks in this episode. Anyway, that was the end of the teaser.
Yes,
Not a lot of data there.
No data.
So this is the only episode.
Pretty dry.
This is the only episode of either TNG or Deep Space Nine in which Keiko appears and her hubby does not.
Oh, wow.
That's all I have for the teaser. March on. Oh no. Results of the question. Everybody said C.
I'm covered in C's. Well, that's pretty good because the answer was indeed C, Union.
Yay! Everybody got 20 points.
What are you eating, Sean?
What do you mean?
What are you eating?
What are you eating?
What are you eating?
Oh, I'm on some Tang Fastics.
Oh.
Ah, nice.
Sorry, am I tuning into the mic?
Abby's eating pretzels.
No. You could put them in a bowl or something.
So it's not.
Okay.
The crinkly packet.
Sorry.
I don't know. Professionalism, innit?
Fire!
So, on to Act 1. Moving along. Act 1 opens with a corridor walk and talk with Geordie and Data! Yay! Here's everyone's favourite.
Deepic.
Data wonders
Look
why...
at the shoulder spread on that. Sorry, Wookiee and Mr. Tavigans, but... Ow.
Yeah. But I have more rank pins, so, in the corridor, yes, Data wonders why, if memory is so prized, why do people forget? Geordie explains how his memory retrieval differs from, humans, especially after a few shandies. Data guesses, we remember the positive memories probably more vividly than the bad ones, but Geordie points out that many times it's the bad ones that stick with us. Basically, Data must be very confused at how humans actually operate.
But he spent 4 years in the academy, and he'd be and people would be there studying and rereading the same page over and over, trying to commit it to memory. And he'd have perfect recall of everything and never have to open a book. I mean, how did this not come up before? That's not the best of writing, that particular scene. He could have asked questions about why did people remember, what was the evolutionary advantage of forgetting or something, but this is clumsy. Sorry, Tavi.
Oh no, one of the things I liked about this scene with Data is that it was an injection of an explanation as to why Data doesn't just remember everything at any time. I keep hearing an echo of myself. Jesus.
You sound okay.
But they explain his memory in such a way that they let him remember things like a natural person does and not like a computer, because everyone presumes that Data has a memory of everything and immediately recalls stuff that's happening, but he actually also has to go out and find the memory in his bank. So he, in none of these episodes when it's like, well, doesn't Data remember that or whatever, he was there, it's like, not in all cases. He actually has to specifically pull these things up. He doesn't seem to have a recall.
Doesn't stay in his cache
like humans do.
Yeah, I suppose you look him up a dictionary
Some
entry
of it
and
goes
it
off
takes
to the cloud.
Long-term data storage.
Yeah.
It's like what's that? Crichton when he's on what's that drug that the mechanoids take?
I don't remember what it's called.
Not synthahol, but he's like, do you know that stuff rots your brains? He's like, well, does it? Like, this is like old like version of Crichton. And he's like, I don't know, I have to see. I'll go back to long-term data storage. And he just sits there. He's like, Anyway. Okay. So, yes, data confused. Onwards. We go to the observation lounge. The senior staff... Oh, not the observation lounge. This is not the observation lounge room. The senior staff are having dinner with the Ulians. Tarmin describes themselves as archaeologists of the mind, and that they are putting together a library of memories to serve as an historical record. But question 2. The Enterprise is transporting the Ulians to memory mapper Star System. Star System, sorry, not Star Citizen. That's a computer game. But what is the Star Citizen? What is the Star System? Oh God, I just done it again. What is the Star System that they're going to map? Is it A, Kalon 2, B, Caldra 4, C, Kanda 4, or D, Calvus 5? Where are they going? I will put those things in chat just in case I've completely butchered any of those. There you go. Kalon, Caldra, Kanda, or Calvus. A, B, C, or D.
I just wonder, people are putting in the chat, I just want to say that's obviously not the observation lounge redressed as a dining room, but besides that also, but it looks exactly the same as the dining room in Star Trek 6, The Understood Country, so hell of a coincidence that they seem to have the same style throughout the centuries.
What a coinkydink. So Beverly asks the
Looks like one of those Sorry.
No, go on, Terry.
It looks like one of those metallic diners. I don't know if anyone in like the UK or Europe has been to those. But
yeah,
in the United States, there's a,
Yeah, we have a kind of a chain here called Johnny Rockets that do that kind of thing, that kind of 50s diner thing.
We don't. No, that's not something that ever made it to England. Not in the southwest of England, anyway. I don't know if there's any in like London or something, but no, it's not something we have. Yeah. Beverly asks the captain whether he would like a good probing, but the captain declines, saying he wouldn't make a good subject. Tarmin asks Worf, as he's eager to explore Klingon memories, but Worf declines, declaring that Klingons do not like to be probed. I say, they really want to probe, don't they, these people? Tarmin's exasperated that no one wants to take part. The old lady says that Tarmin is the most proficient in their group, and he demonstrates this by recounting a story where Jed was useless and couldn't read the subject, and he stepped in and retrieved a fragment of a trade war within half an hour. Jed, a bit frustrated, excuses himself and leaves. Troy follows him.
This room had like a wall hanging as well, which was used for, what was his name? Proconsul Narau in Unification, in his office.
Do we see that in this? This thing.
Ah, yeah, probably.
Let's see if we can see it. There it is.
Yeah,
it's next to the door.
It is. Yeah, the one that we said looks a little bit like, is it the caretaker or something?
Yeah. So, yeah. At the turbo lift.
Nice one, Tavi. For some reason, they want to be probed. Wasn't this like the first thing that you have to be up for when out in space? The probing.
Oh, wow.
That's what all aliens do, apparently, according to...
Yes. Yeah.
Nice one.
True that. At the turbo lift, Jed shares his frustrations that his father loves to demean him in public. Deanna's like, I know exactly what it's like. Yeah. So they share a turbo lift and they talk about their parents. And then they get to Deanna's floor and she says goodnight and he watches her leave.
Before you leave this picture, when Geordie and Data came towards the dinner, they directed the turbolift to take them to deck 2, but they got out of this turbolift, which was obviously on deck 3, not deck 2. And there was supposedly a second goof where these guys get in and Deanna says, take me to deck 8. And when she gets out, it's also deck 3. But they must have corrected it in the sort of more recent versions because it's now deck 8.
Yeah.
Corrected that one.
Yeah, and that's what it looked like in the original version. Instead of 3 on it.
Oh, well, it's easy enough to turn a 3 into an 8. So
Yeah.
simple enough job.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's still being creepy though, and he kind of leaves a lingering look as he watches her walk down the corridor. And then
It's like, I hate to see you leave, but I love to see you walk away.
yeah.
How does this woman not feel the creepy vibes? No, wait, she can't read them.
No, she doesn't.
Can't read them. No.
She's really bad at
looks like.
No, because she's really bad at reading people from their body language because of the fact that she's used to reading people with her mind, so she hasn't developed that skill. That's our working theory anyway.
It's like my dog. If I put a treat in front of him and he can't smell it, he just can't see it. Like dogs are like, their eyesight's so bad that they literally see through their nose. It's weird. If you can smell stuff, you can seek out anything. But if you can't smell it, you'll be looking right at it and he won't know it's there.
Yeah, depends on the breed, but very much so, yeah.
Yeah.
No, in that case,
But like, when you see those, beagles,
the raper, Jesus.
When you see those beagles with those big droopy ears, that's not to help them hear. That's actually to help focus the scent into their nose so that they get a bigger scent off, and that they can chase, foxes across, 4 acres of fields, no problem. So once they get the whiff, they're off. Even across running water, it'll sit on the water and they'll still catch it.
It's the same with spaniels, like my dog. Yeah, the same.
Oh yeah, they're gun dogs. Yeah.
So, Deanna's preparing for bed and starts to daydream about an event where she was finishing off a poker night and they spill some of the money or counters on the floor. Chips, that's it. Spill the chips on the floor. And Will lays her down, and even though she tells him that they can't because they're working on the same ship, he still pushes himself on her. But then Will's face changes to Jed's, and she screams at the unwanted probing. And there you go. We're left with her passed out.
And she also strained too hard at telepathy.
Well, funny you should say that.
Yeah, a little bit.
The first time I saw this, that's what I thought it was.
It's hot chocolate.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't until after I saw the cup next to her and was like, oh no, she spilled like coffee or something on her.
And those are the bottom cups, or bottom, whatever way you pronounce it, cups, but it's got a white handle instead of the usual black one. Yeah, that Picard uses. I don't think I've ever seen those ones before or since, but I noticed that.
Yeah. And that was the end of Act 1.
Yeah, so the replicator in Troy's room and in Riker's room in the Dreamscape thing, they weren't the normal display unit. They were like an old-fashioned style one from, I don't know, way back when.
It's from Star Trek 6, because they...
23rd century version from Undiscovered Country.
Yeah, so they repurposed them for Star Trek 6, and they didn't replace the L-cars on them for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another sort of concept of telepathic rape in Nemesis and against Troy again. And in that point, she calls it a violation, which is, throwback to this episode.
Clever.
And this is also the second occurrence of a false recollection of sexual assault committed by Riker, with the other one being in A Matter of Perspective, where he was falsely accused of attempted rape for that woman and murdering her husband.
The answer for question 2. Hopefully, I'm covered in bees because there was Caldra 4.
We had 3 B's and a C, so mostly B's.
3 B's and a C. I think Stu Plum said B as well. I think we had 4 B's and a C. I think he just got in
4
there.
B's and a C.
He got in there just before I wrote the Wookie says E. Yes.
Cool.
Shush, phone. Shush.
And yeah, I don't have anything else on that. I just said all my tidbits just then.
Hopefully more data will be coming up soon, Tommy.
More data.
Okay, Act 2. Deanna's in a coma, which is not good. But the doc doesn't know why. Riker mentions she left dinner with one of the Ulians. So Picard tells him to go question him, and Beverly goes check the transporter logs to see if any unknown viruses transported in with them. Riker meets Jed in 10 forward. Jed? Jev? Oh my god, I've just...
My name is Jeff.
I put Jed throughout this entire... There's a period on my
I
script
hope you
where I
know.
decided he was called Jed.
I hope you know what I'm referencing when I'm saying my name is Jeff, but maybe you don't. No, okay. I'll stop doing that so because it won't be funny. Never mind. 21 Jump Street,
I don't think I've seen that.
or it might be 22 Jump Street. It's very funny. I won't explain it. Sorry, please move on.
Okay. So yes, Riker meets Jev in 10 forward. He explains what happened to Troy and asks if he entered her quarters. Jev gets a bit defensive, but Riker clarifies that he's just trying to trace her steps. Jev tells him about the conversation in the turbo lift and that she has a wonderful sense of humour. Riker tells him they want to examine all the Ulians to eliminate the possibility of an unknown organism. Reluctantly, Jev agrees. But question 3. There's a second doctor in this episode, in sickbay, but what is his name? Is it A, Dr. Martin, B, Dr. Moran, C, Dr. Mayweather, or D, Dr. Miller? I know from looking at Basil Bob's face, she might know the answer to this one.
Tavi likes the figure of the lady in the background.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, baby got back.
Yeah. The waitress. There is a shot later on. Actually, no, I think we've already had it. Where they're having the dinner. There you go. And Riker looks to be... I think it's probably the same girl. Riker seems to be watching her as she walks around the table. I don't know if he's like waiting for his food or...
No, not knowing Riker.
No.
It would not be the food he's staring
He
at.
definitely tracks her as she walks along here, so, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you've got to let her in again for a mic. Tavi.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
What happened?
My PC StreamYard went down.
Oh, no.
Ah.
I was saying that wasn't the same girl. It was a different booty.
Oh, was it a different booty? It was a different booty. Yeah. Just wearing the same
photos before that last one.
10 forward uniform, I guess.
You know they had to get the right booties to make that tacky ass uniform look right.
That's true. She even makes it look good.
Wookie says
I'm
they
always
should do an
thinking of,
episode
like,
where a cheeky alien roofies the entire crew and need to collect pube samples and shave off one eyebrow from each crew member.
Well, that kind of happens in about 2 or 3 episodes. Well,
yeah.
when we get McDuff.
That episode too.
It could happen on lower decks at some point.
Hmm.
There's this one episode. I don't know if you've seen it yet, where there's just this random person on a bridge, and usually you don't notice people on the bridge that are not the main cast.
Yeah, that's Macduff.
But
isn't
this
it?
guy's standing back there, and me and Gideon are watching this show, going, "Who the
Who the
fuck is
hell's
that guy?" Just standing in the back, and it was just so funny that by the end of the episode, that he was like the villain, and I was like, "Yeah, I knew that guy didn't look right."
There we go. Riker visits sickbay and speaks to Troy, hoping that she will hear him. He tells her about his day on board the ship and that he's finished the staff reports, so she missed out on that job. He tells her he misses her and hopes she won't stay away too long. Beverly relieves him and tells him to go get some rest. In his quarters, Riker starts to daydream about an incident when he was in engineering and had to order the warp core to be evacuated. But as he closed the doors, he killed a crew member that was trapped inside. He's tormented by a junior officer who later turns into Jed, and Riker collapses. It's a great shot of Geordie, though, isn't it?
I was about to say, ew.
Yeah,
Look at his mouth. Feels like you can fall in there and like
Although-
climb up his teeth.
I'm sure they had no choice in this, and they obviously used a weird lens and stuff. But clearly, he's in his own light because he's so close to the camera that the camera is blocking the light. So I'm sure that drove the lighting people crazy. But there's only one way to get that shot, and that was it.
Yeah.
Fish Island.
And the visor wouldn't help either, because obviously that's keeping the bottom half of his head in shadow.
Yeah, they needed to, do the wharf light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
get it
up-
under,
Uplighting,
up and under.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice photo there. Look at the placement, the curves in that. Them action lines are right.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's decent. Yeah.
Picard on the bridge tries to get hold of Riker, but when there's no response, he sends Worf to go investigate. Worf finds Riker out cold in his quarters. And that is the end of this act. That's me in the afternoon after I've had 4 back-to-back meetings.
Yeah, when Riker's saying to Troy that he's going to keep her company as she had done for him before, he was referencing Shades of Grey.
Ah, yes. I
horrible
figured, I
episode.
remembered her sitting with him, and I was like, I couldn't remember what the episode was. But yes, it's because I tried to blank it from my memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of those painful ones where you're like, we are watching this episode because we're watching all the episodes. But it was like pulling teeth. We're just like, oh, when is this one over?
Yeah. So yeah, at the end of Act 2. So question 3 then, what was the second Doctor's name in sick bay? Was it Dr. Martin, Moran, Mayweather, or Miller? Maz was straight in there with an A because she knew it was
So
Dr.
did everybody
Martin.
else.
Everybody knew. Well done, everyone.
Yeah, I specifically looked him up. I thought, oh, he's quite a prominent character in this episode. I wonder if he's played anyone else. But no, he hasn't. But he's played like a single episode of about 50, 60 different series.
Yeah,
He was in Year of Hell Part 1.
was he?
Oh, was he?
Mm.
Oh, I didn't see that when I was scanning through his filmography earlier.
Yeah, no, it's there in Memory Alpha. Yeah,
Yeah.
he in the first scene of Year of Hell where he's on the bridge saying, "I'll go away with your tiny little empire. You're unimportant," and then time changes and the ship just gets completely wrecked. He's that alien that is originally in charge of the space before time changes.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
they brought him back.
Oh, yeah. Zal.
Zal. Mm.
Yeah, I think it's because as I scrolled up, like, there was just so far to scroll up because he did so many single episodes of so much stuff in between those 2 points. I didn't scroll
Also-
up far enough.
The female Yulian was also in Voyager in that episode where Tom Paris gets memories of a murder implanted in his head as a punishment.
Irony.
I think that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point.
Mm.
Oh, and apparently she is still alive at 96, and according to Memory Alpha, she's currently the oldest living Star Trek actress.
I
Wow.
was going to say, she looked like ancient even in this episode.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
looks
and
like
that
a
was-
really cute old lady, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Wow.
Little old lady who...
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love it, Sean.
Act 3. We get a medical
My
log
uniform
from...
color down.
Oh, that's good, yeah. You're a little chilly today, Tavi.
I'm sitting on the floor.
I'll share this, look. It's not anything interesting, but it's interesting to me. Unfortunately, our boiler broke, so I had to fork out and get a new boiler. But it means that I now have a remote control display and that for my boiler, so I can set the temperature and turn my boiler on and off, or control the temperature of the rooms from my little display, which is nice.
Nice.
Because I used to have to walk all the way to the end of the garage to go to the boiler and flick it on or flick it off. But now I've got a little display to do it. It's nice.
I have one of those, but it's just on the wall in the middle of the house. It's not like I can't carry it around with me.
Yeah. It's got a magnet
All fun and games
back,
till
so
you
I
lose
can-
it or you stand on it.
I can't
That's
stick it
true.
on a wall. Yeah. Act 3 then. So in the medical log, we learn that Beverly has examined the Ulians and has ruled out the possibility of them carrying any harmful organisms. She meets with Picard and Worf in the ready room and tells him that she has found electropathic residue in the thalamus. She's ruled out how do you pronounce that? Eresin syndrome?
Irazine
syndrome. A rare neurological condition. Worf thinks the aliens should be quarantined, but Picard disagrees. How unusual for Picard to disagree with one of Worf's security opinions.
Never happens.
Never happens. Beverly and Picard then meet with the Ulians and tell them about their findings. They initially act shocked, but that they could have anything to do with it, but agree to stay put and be monitored. Jev,
Beverly's doing a great little teapot in that shot.
I'm a little teapot.
She is indeed.
Yeah.
And earlier she was saying that the thalamus was part of the cerebral cortex,
Yeah, it's not, no.
which apparently it's not.
No.
And it doesn't really have much to do with memory.
It has nothing to do with memory. It's like a control center that takes in all our senses, like hearing and what we feel and stuff, and then it's like distributes it information to the central cortex. It's like a processing unit. So I understand. But not really anything to do with feelings. Not like emotional ones. We end this scene typically with Jev looking creepy again.
At the end of every scene.
Yeah. Dr. Crusher and Dr. Martin examine Keiko, and she doesn't exhibit any signs of electropathic residue. So they're kind of back to the drawing board on that one. And in engineering, Geordie is looking for any agents that could cause electropathic residue. This shot's quite interesting. It's not a very good example of it, but in this scene, you see the side door at the back side of engineering behind this alcove.
Oh, yeah.
You don't often get to see that door back there. So, look, it's the door. Yeah, get excited, people. Question 4, though. How many non-medical agents does the computer report that could cause electropathic residue? Is it A21, B22, C23, or D24?
Or E47.
Yeah, or E47.
I know, right? Got my answer typed in.
Look at that, I even put that in. Look, how quick was that?
Oh my goodness.
Editing that in there.
You've got to do that thing like you did last week, where everyone has to type in their answer.
Yeah.
It makes it more interesting.
Yeah, I guess. I like to keep changing it up.
Could it be C plus D?
C plus D minus E.
C plus D, yeah, would be 47.
Oh, yeah, that's true. B, yes. But despite searching for those agents on the non-medical agents on the Enterprise, the computer comes up with none. The computer says no. None were found on the Enterprise.
Computer says no.
Yeah. In sickbay, Dr. Martin clocks off for the day. And Beverly starts daydreaming. She relives Picard taking her to the morgue to identify her dead husband, Jack. You shouldn't remember him like this. It's good of you to come with me. It's the least I could do. It's good you came with me. You shouldn't remember him like this. It's like this reminded me of her floating through the.
Yeah.
Floating through
the same things over and over again.
Just kept repeating the same things over and over again as they walked through this corridor and then through the morgue and then stood around the body. Just kept saying the same things. It's like it was just like that time she was floating through those clouds. And then it turns out,
I'm sure it looked great on the page, but no.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's an iconic photo because it's got Picard with the toupee on. A lot of people are taking that out to do this very funny meme, making fun of the show where the bosses go undercover in their own businesses.
Oh, yeah.
And by the end of the show, they're like, look, it's me. I'm the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
And you're fired and you did great. But someone, of course, does this one where he's in this toupee and it's like, we're just here as newer crew members to observe.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm just here as a new recruit in engineering.
Yeah.
Make it so, everybody.
There's a UK version and the US version of that, and the UK version is, depressing enough. It's like, yeah, I can't live on £6 an hour. And they go, oh, well, we're not going to pay any more. But in the US version, it's like, yeah, I've got like 300,000 in medical bills and I can't pay them, but it's okay. I'm getting $6 an hour. The enemy goes, oh, we'll pay those off for you. But, doesn't mention any of the other 200,000 employees. They can all go and suck it.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, this is depressing.
They should have been on this show.
What other episode? I should have had this as a question. I'll tell you what, bonus question, and whoever gets it right, Maz, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to answer. You're banned. Now you can, because you might not win the spin. You might not win the spin. That sounds like a saying. There's one other episode where Picard wears a toupee in TNG. But what episode is it? Does anybody know?
No. I just know that this is one of the rare times that he's seen with a full head of hair. But I can't remember what the other time is.
Oh. Let's see if anybody gets it right.
Tabakin says
I wrote down.
tapestries.
Yeah, it's the one where he goes back in time to not be stabbed in the chest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it's called. It's that episode.
Tapestry?
I thought it was called Tapestries. I'm not sure.
It's called Tapestry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that episode is. I didn't say it was right.
Oh.
Wookie says all good things.
Oh, yeah. That's a good guess.
Well, he does wear a false beard and all good things. That's
He does. Yeah.
And
Was
he
that a
also,
toupee?
at some point on the holodeck, he plays like a character in a play or something with Data, and he's got like a different accent and stuff, but it's him, isn't it? And he looks really different. He's got hair in that as well, but I can't remember what that's called either.
Hang on. I gotta bear with me a minute.
You're doing a 1 of 1 wheel.
I gotta find my.
Ruth dropped in with it, so you got 2. I think we'll have to call a hiatus on it because we more or less called it.
Right. Which one? Which one did I? That's not a good one. I don't like the look of that one. That'll do. Okay. We got one. So, we got 2 people that got it right, I think. We got Tavikins, who said tapestries, and we got Ruth that said tapestry. And it was... Tapestry was the only other episode where he wore a toupee. So, that's... I'll give 1, because you answered first, Tavi, you're 1, and Ruth, you're 2. For... How many points should we say? 25 points? Let's spin that wheel!
I don't know that he does have hair in tapestry, does he?
He does.
Ruth!
Yeah.
Trying to look it up, and all it says is that Violations is the only episode that features Picard with hair.
No.
Oh, sorry.
What? Hang on.
I mean, it has him obviously back in time or whatever, but he still looks like his old self.
I'm sure there's a brief moment in it where he wears a toupee. I read it somewhere. Oh, maybe he doesn't. Oh. Okay. Well, I'm still giving 2 points. It was my question. It was my goddamn answer. So,
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm giving it to them because I was pretty damn sure that Dewap was the right answer.
No,
I googled. Oh, actually, no, you do see him in Tapestry, but you see him as a different actor, not as Patrick Stewart.
Yes,
Captain Picard. But he's still Picard. Also, I just saw a photo of Patrick Stewart with hair from 1969, and he looks exactly the same, other than the fact he has hair. It's creepy.
Yeah,
like he hasn't really aged in 50 years. Like he was. Hold on. Yeah, help if I had the right screen on display capture. Hold on. Look at that.
Freaky.
That's when you just didn't get any older.
that is weird. No, I.
Oh, this is
Stand
good. I can
corrected.
do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Very cool.
Anyway, Mazza, I think you're right. I'm wrong.
Don't matter. It's bonus
Starting to
points.
have intrusive thoughts now.
Okay, so
You need to put that on
yes,
the screen.
look, as Picard, who is now Jev, peels back the sheet, Jack opens his eyes, and he too turns into Jev, and Beverly screams, and she gives it a real good scream. She got good lungs. Oh,
That scene was really convincing. When her acting, I was like, "Oh damn!"
yeah,
Damn,
she
she
really,
looks like she's really startled.
yeah, she really gives it some. Kind of
And,
one of those screams that linger.
Doug Wirt or Vert. It's the same actor who's played her husband on multiple episodes, including Journey's End and Family, as well as this one.
Yeah. But going back to question 4, how many non-medical agents does a computer report could cause electropathic residue? It's once again B. It's 22.
Most people got that right.
Well done, most people.
So at the moment we have Tavikin's in the lead because of the bonus point question, and Stu Plum and myself are in second place.
Cool. I'm just glad to move on to Act 4 to remove that screaming picture of Beverly off of our screens. So yes, Act 4.
I'm feeling a bit mutual with that photo.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Jesus.
We have to replace it with a little bit of data. Just a little bit.
I've been on Turlina.
Data's getting some action right there.
For a good minute. Yeah, look at that. Oh.
What are they looking at? What are they looking at? Don't know. Anyway, it turns out that Data and Geordie walk to sickbay and they find the doctor is non-responsive. Yes.
And doesn't Data call for an emergency medical team to come or something?
Yes, to sickbay. Yes. Don't know where they come from.
Isn't that where the emergency medical team would be based?
I guess so. But yeah, maybe they're just coming from around the corner.
I guess they could be off duty and on call or something.
Maybe. They might be just around the corner.
True.
They could be like those paramedics, you know, they're in a different set. They're not with the hospital. They're sitting in a turbo
fire station. Yeah, that's just America. In the UK, they're in a hospital.
And ours are like parked in the ambulance and outside waiting to get sent out. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember that scene, Wookie. I'm not even a dude, and that made me sick to my stomach. I'm like, no.
Oh.
Maybe that's what's wrong with Wesley.
But I say, was that Will Wheaton in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they're doing here. Yeah, I don't know. It's a new medical treatment. Either that, or when she passed out, she was holding a chocolate muffin, and her hands clamped onto the chocolate muffin, and now Geordie's come in, and he's like, she's holding a chocolate muffin. I want that chocolate muffin. And he's now trying to pull it from her cold, clamped hands. Who knows? Who knows?
That's exactly what her hand is clamped on.
Yeah. Well, I hope she's not clamped on. Well, I don't know. Data does look slightly concerned.
But it would be understandable.
Even passed out, she couldn't help herself. They brief Picard in his ready room and tell him that they have eliminated everything but the Ulians. Picard orders.
Violated though.
Yeah.
Nice painting, that.
It's a nice painting.
Yeah. I think Picard should send that to Geordie
to put in his museum. He probably should. He probably should.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Are we getting that close again? Spoilers.
Yeah. We know where that painting's destined to end up. So yes, they brief Picard and tell him that I've just said that. Picard orders Data to investigate the planets that the Ulians have visited to see if there are any other reports of something similar. Picard also discusses the need to restrict the Ulians to their quarters for all the good that'll do, because, you know, they're telepathic. Then Dr. Martin contacts them saying that Troy has come out of her coma and has asked for Picard. Question 5. In this episode, we meet 3 Ulians. Tarmin, Jev, but who was the third? Was it Adin, B, Nida, C, Dane, or D, Einad?
I shall delay.
I think I know.
Was it Aidin, Nida, Dane, or Einad?
Gonads.
Yeah. I did a anagram thing there using the same letters. I was pretty pleased with that one.
Yeah, you could have Danny.
Yeah, I could have done.
yeah.
I could have. Didn't sound particularly alien, though, did it?
No.
So, Troy's woken up, and she's got coma hair. She tells him that she cannot remember anything, but feels frightened. She is surprised to find that she's been in a coma for 3 days. He orders her to stay in sickbay and get rest, and he leaves to go talk to the Julians again. He asks the Julians to volunteer to be restricted to their quarters. Picard outlines that the only variable that they've not eliminated so far is themselves. Jeff suggests he might be able to help Troy retrieve the memories that she has missing about what actually happened to her. Initially, Picard thinks no, but the old lady turns him around. Data and Geordi haven't found any unexplained comas in their search, and the Epsilon Nell system has yet to report their data, which might be important later. LaForge suggests seeking cases of Iricine syndrome? Iricine syndrome, thinking that it might have been a misdiagnosis. And indeed, 2 cases of Iricine syndrome turn up on Harada 3 while the aliens were present.
For no points at all, that door that you can see behind Data's head, where does it lead?
The head. The door behind his head leads to the head.
Dude, the head. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
in Navy parlance is the bathroom.
Yeah. Not that we ever see it.
But there is one scene where they go, all right, everybody, battle stages, and 5 or 6 people walk off and walk straight through that door because the director didn't know what he was doing. It's like, battle stations, everyone go to the toilet.
Well, if I was thinking I was about to go into battle, that might be the first
Load
thing
the
that I would do.
torpedo bays.
Yeah.
We're so mature.
Okay.
It's very rare you see it, but yeah, that's the bathroom.
Yeah. In her quarters, Troy agrees to the memory probe as she wants to understand what happened to her. Jev gets her to remember while she was preparing for bed, she was having a memory of Riker and the poker chips, and then the memory turns bad. But this time, it's not Will, it's not Jev, it's dun 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 Tarmin.
Ew, look at him now.
I know, and unfortunately, this is the end of Act 4, so this is the picture we leave it on now. It's not good, is
My
it?
sweetie is here.
Yeah,
Wookiees
Mr.
can get in the closet.
Duckins.
Yay. Yep, so, yeah. Naughty Tarmin, apparently. Anything else for Act 4?
No, not specifically. Sorry.
Yep.
I did all my bits, which wasn't much. In this act.
Question 5. In this episode, we have 3 Julians, Tarmin, Jev, and what was the third? Aiden, Nida, Dane, or
Everybody
Einad?
said D.
Did everybody say D?
Everybody said D.
Wow. That's
Covered in Ds.
That's a shame.
Or
'cause
gonads.
It's actually, it is D. It's D. I got it right.
You're covered in gonads.
Y'all.
Well done, everyone. You're too good for me.
Let go!
Did someone just arrive in live chat? I'm not quite sure.
No.
But I'll give you a... It's Panko! Oh, everybody's clapping.
And my husband.
Oh, and the beard. Oh. There we go. It's arrived. Yay.
Panko, it is data thin in this episode.
It is a bit thin on
I've been
data.
sitting here daydreaming about Laura Booty from Turlina 3. Like dismembered Laura Booty.
It's fair. That's fair. Yeah. There's nothing I could do about it, unfortunately.
You can just put random photos up.
There you go.
So many excuses.
There you go.
Thank you.
There's something for you there, isn't it? But as it is, we're now going to Picard's ready room for Act 5. You don't see it in this scene, but this is one of those scenes where Picard does play with the Picard crystal through the whole scene. He's twiddling it in his fingers.
Which is why you have been, right?
Yeah, I've been playing with this all day, actually, since watching this episode.
That just sounds so wrong.
Twiddling with my crystal.
My goodness, please stop. No.
My crystal.
Laura booty, Laura booty, Laura booty, Laura booty.
In Picard's ready room,
Patient white ass.
Jev tells him he's notified his homeworld, so if they want to press charges, they have laws against this sort of thing, and the penalties are severe. They discuss what would possess Tarmin to commit such acts, and Picard points out that Tarmin is still maintaining his innocence. Jev says he's surprised his father would be capable of such a thing. He apologizes for his father's actions and leaves. Picard contacts Data and asks if they have anything, and they... Yeah.
Hey!
There we go.
Yes.
There's our boy. Picard contacts Data and asks if there's anything they found in addition, but they haven't found anything else. And they don't... but they agree to inform the planets of what they have discovered. Question 6. After Picard hangs up, they finally get an update from what star system?
You just can't say it today.
I can't. I've got Star Citizen on the brain. Yes. They've heard from what star system?
I guess
Are you playing that on the
I
personal
am
channel, or what's going on?
Panko's wife, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. It's my favourite game at the moment. I love Star Citizen. It's amazing.
Are you going to give us options, or do we just need to type it in?
Shall I let you type? No, I'll give you options. Is it A, Epsilon Eridani? Is it B, Epsilon Indi? C, Epsilon Minos? Or D, Epsilon Nell? Eridani, Indi, Minos, or Nell? So, anyway, Geordie hears from this particular star citizen and checks the mission logs and finds that comas were reported on planets. But when the comas occurred, Tarmin was back on his home planet, so it couldn't have been him. Meanwhile, Jev visits Deanna again in her quarters and apologizes for his dad's actions. He starts getting all creepy about hoping to be friends, and he touches her face. She senses his unease and offers to help, but instead Jev decides to attack her again by probing back into her brain. Initially, Troy's confused about what's going on, but then realises what's happening and clobbers him one over the head and gives him a good kicking. Eventually, he fights her off and throws her across the room, but then Worf, Data and the security team arrive and take Jev into custody. I love it when Worf opens the door and steps in, and he just like spins him around and goes, boop.
I put in my notes, amazing takedown by Worf.
Yeah.
Great.
So one of the few times he gets to smack somebody down on screen.
Yeah, just it's the way he just did it so nonchalantly, just like face palms him in the face.
It was a
Knocks
it
him
was
right
a
out.
pimp slap. That was a pimp slap. It's like, where's my money?
Yeah. Hopefully, when he turns up in Picard, he gets to smash someone. But so far, nothing happening.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Nothing.
In a way, Wookiee, you are correct. Panko is my sister wife in the theoretical commune where Sung androids are the ruling males.
This was
I
because
would have
Wookiee
no
got
problems
confused
living in
and
that
thought that
commune.
Supreme was Tavikins' husband.
Oh.
There's
Tavikin
a
said,
thumbnail that
quick, my
Lets you
husband's
know that
here
she's not a
hiding in the
husband.
cupboard. And Wookie said, "Oh, sorry, Supreme, I wasn't looking at your wife."
Supreme says, second that. It's all true. It's all true. She's living in the commune right now.
Even the lies?
I would be brainwashed. I would drink that Kool-Aid. Woo! Be like, whose keys is getting drawn out of the bowl today?
Be like, excuse me, Mr. Data, could you give me a quick tour of the head there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All the vitamin D you can get.
They'll all be the same, though, won't they? Would it matter which keys you picked out? Because they'd all be exactly the same.
I mean, it depends on which model. You getting Laura tonight or you getting Data tonight?
I guess, yeah, that would definitely change things. I guess Laura is equally functional.
Red Data?
We don't have. I don't know if that's ever established.
Caps down.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm a little vulgar. I'm a hush now. I'm gonna mute myself out.
Oh, that Smiler Rainbow enters chat. We all behave now.
Hi, Smiler!
All behave for the Rangers in town.
Round of applause for Smiler arriving.
Yay!
Jordan, round of applause.
So Troy asks how they knew to come, and Data explains that through their analysis they realised that only one Yulian was present at all the comas, and that was Jev. Later in the observation lounge, it's Tarmin's turn to apologise, and he tells them that their best medical staff are on hand and to help them if they need it, and it's been 3 centuries since they've had to deal with this sort of case. Picard gives the humans were once violent, but like yourselves have evolved to deal with the potential violence in all of us. We must recognise that violence within us, lest we be consumed by it, as was your son. And that was the end of the episode. I did feel at the end of this, it's one of those, speeches about, how, we were once violent, but we're now like the enlightened human race that we are. But all the years of Discovery and Picard and Lower Decks, where everybody acts like they all swear, they're all, self-centered and emotional and angry and petulant, and they all act like more like teenagers than anything else. I think. See, I used to think when Picard said things like this, like, yes, how enlightened people in Star Trek are and what a wonderful future it is. But now, I just think, well, that's bollocks, isn't it? Because they're awful people. I've been watching it for years. But anyway, just my changing views. So that's the end of the episode. Yeah. What do we think?
Yeah, not a big fan of. I have honestly, as mentioned last week, I have no memory of this episode, even though I've rewatched the show however many times, and growing up watching it on TV. I assume they just didn't show it often because it was, rapey, that it just maybe wasn't on Irish Catholic television very much. They didn't repeat it or something. But I honestly couldn't remember it. Even I've watched it twice and I still barely remember it. It's just so, I don't know, unremarkable. It tries to be a lot of things. It's certainly not a comedy. It's certainly not grotesque or horrific like it's meant to be. It's not a mystery. It's just a big pile of meh, really. For me, anyway. Quasi, you're on mute.
I quite like the fact that... Oh, Maz, we've lost your sound.
Yeah, you're still on mute, yeah.
Sorry.
There you go.
I was about to say, I hope I didn't give you my...
No, I think because I muted it to cough, and then I left my little cursor on the mute button, and then accidentally pressed it again. I was just saying, yeah, I mean, it's a PG program trying to deal with quite a serious sort of subject matter. So that's why, they couldn't go like mega scary or horrible with it. They had to keep it relatively PG. But I mean, just reading sort of people's reviews on IMDb and stuff, just to sort of get a sense for what other people think about this episode, it does seem quite Marmitey. You get a real blend of either people giving it sort of, like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 to people giving it, a 0 or a 2 out of 10. A lot of people say they just can't bear to watch it because of the content. So, I mean, it definitely provokes strong reactions from people.
Yeah. I mean, it does make you feel uncomfortable watching it, You do feel for Troy and the people that go through what they went through, and you do hate that guy and just find those people kind of yucky.
I think it's more just it's not harrowing enough. Oh, and and normally when they find a really awkward subject in true Star Trek fashion, they just put a metaphor in, and they just say, they go off topic and they say, oh, it's an invasion of telepathic privacy or something, and they think they wouldn't put the sexual element in, and that way they can go deeper and harder. Pardon the uncomfortable expression.
Jesus, that was.
I wasn't trying to make a joke there. Too serious a subject, but like to they normally just pick a metaphor, and they should have done that and they didn't, and the writing just isn't up to par on this one.
I think they did. They're trying to tell a story of rape in a Star Trek TNG
I mean, like they actually just came out and said it though.
Elements.
Like, this is not a metaphor.
Yeah. And there wasn't a sexual element with the Riker situation and with the Crusher situation. It was, with each of them, it was different, but
it's a mind rape.
I really like this one. When I remembered this show, I was put off because once again Diana's being attacked by penises, but her brain penis this time. And then another time she's gonna get attacked by a space penis and get knocked up, but she's gonna keep it. And it's just, and in the movie once again,
Baby Picard has a go at her.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's just, come on. But I did appreciate it that, and this is gonna sound bad, that Riker and Crusher got attacked too. Be like, okay, at least she's not the only one.
Yeah, again, and I think that they made there be male victims and female victims to, represent the fact that anybody can be made vulnerable and anybody can be violated, and just to sort of put that spin on it as well, I guess.
I just realised the last 4 pictures you didn't see because it came up on the wrong browser.
Oh, so we just got to
That's okay. That's okay. Just leave. Just don't mess with anything.
There you go.
You don't need.
Jev visits Diana. Did you notice his clothes as well look like, someone that was trying to make a giant snowflake and failed?
Yeah.
Initially, when Troy...
Like when you cut out the paper things to make like the men and you pull it out, but just not badly.
Troy started fighting back and gave him a good smack in. And then Worf entered and bopped him straight on the nose. And
what has Deanna got with those circular picture things? Because she has them in her office and she has them in her room.
Yeah.
I can only take a guess, but if she has a internal quarters, one without a window, it's just to kind of orientate you to, kind of pretend to your mind, in your mind's eye, that you're looking at land. Yeah, I would take a guess.
Don't know. And this was the last scene with them in the observation lounge.
You had to ruin it.
It's all right. I would go back. I just wanted to let you know that you missed some pictures off there at the end. It went to the wrong place.
You're a complete finisher, aren't you?
Yeah, I had to finish it off.
Okay, thank you.
There you go.
Oh, I could just like
Happy days.
He could have got raped in this episode too if I was on that ship.
So yes,
that was wrong. I'm gonna take that back.
Start thinking what you'd give this episode out of 10, and put that into chat. And
I have to get up again and go get my little pad.
I will get the scoreboard up, and you can tell me how everybody's all won this episode.
Did you do the answer to the last question?
Oh, no.
We had 4 C's and 2 D's.
Okay, so after Picard hangs up, he finally gets an update from what star system? Eridani, Indy, Minos, or Nell? And the answer was D, Epsilon Nell. So, well done to anyone that put D.
That would be Stuplum and myself.
Oh, so that's probably worked out quite well for you guys, I'd imagine.
Did catapult us past the Tavikins.
So, what's the scores for the competition then?
So, Stuplum and Mazamuk Bob came joint top, which means 19 points split between two people, which actually means 10 points each if you round up.
Sorry, who was that for? 10 points for?
Stuplum and Mazamuk Bob.
So, 91
We
and
had 420 points.
82. Okay.
Tavikins was third with 310 points, so gets 8 points on the scoreboard.
So that's 73. Yep.
Sean was next with 260 points, so he gets 7 points on the scoreboard.
77. Yep.
And Ruth was next with 220 points, so she gets 6 points on the scoreboard.
87. Okay, there we go.
Wookie would get 5 points, but doesn't want to be on the scoreboard, so that's fine.
Wookie is not on the scoreboard.
No score.
No. Sort range by that. Did that work? Yes, that worked. There we go. What's this called? Violations, wasn't it? Okay, so the scoreboard now looks like this. Doo-doo-doo. We got Stuplum in first place, with Ruth in second place, Maz McBob in third place, and Sean in fourth, and Tavi in fifth. So it did.
I moved up.
It did actually shake the order up for a change.
Yay.
Yeah.
Was Stu already in first then, or did he overtake?
Well, Ruth and Stuplum were at joint first.
Ah,
So,
right.
Yeah. So
Wookie wants to know what his minus score is. You can make it up.
minus 1,701.
1701.
Yeah.
D.
Yeah. 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 So what are we going to score this episode then?
It's a tricky one.
I think
We've
this is a
got
real tricky
a 4,
one.
a 5, and a 6 in chat so far.
Because I honestly think they did quite a good job with it. I think it made us feel the wrong things, the bad things, you know. They got it across to us in, as you say, a PG way. It had the whole.
Trying to sway people's vote.
It had the whole sci-fi mind fuckery thing in it, you know. So that's quite Star Trekky, isn't it? And but my problem is, and this is my problem with it, right? You know how some episodes where I've not liked them in the past, and I'm just like, I just really love this episode. Don't know why. Never really thought about it much, but this one, I was bored. I mean, it's not an episode you're supposed to enjoy watching, but even then, I don't know. I think I'm just watching Star Trek now to be entertained, and I didn't get that from it, so I didn't enjoy watching it.
Yeah, I guess it's not
one to enjoy,
the usual
is
shits and giggles.
it? No.
But even an episode like Tuvix, for example, you know, which they basically has to kill someone at the end of it. You know, I find that perfectly pleasant to watch, and it makes you think, and it promotes discussion, and you can agree or you can disagree, you know, and nobody's really right. Star Trek is great when it gives you a nice moral question. Nobody's really right or wrong, or something to debate, or this just doesn't hit any box for me at all. Brent is in it. We'll give him a point for that.
Yes, and you got some nice speaking parts, and I got to see his long fingers.
So Maz is going for a 10.
You know what it means if, long fingers,
Long gloves.
long gloves. Yeah. Right, ready?
Deep pockets.
Deep pockets. Good piano player. Right, ready? 3, 2, 1. 6 and a 6 and a 5 and a 4. 6 and a 6 and a 5 and a 4. So
And the audience averages at 5.
5. So Ruth gave it a 6. Stuplum gave it a 5.
Ash says Star Trek sucks, Star Wars is better. Well, we love both.
Mr. Sasaki is in the house.
I can't speak for the current Star Trek because I haven't seen The Mandalorian yet, but I will watch it
Star
tomorrow.
Wars. Yeah.
Star
You
Wars,
haven't seen The Mandalorian?
What, any of it?
I haven't seen this week. I haven't seen yesterday's Mandalorian or
Oh.
today's. Sorry.
No, I haven't watched any of the new ones yet.
Actually, I might have time to watch before I go to bed. But anyway,
Yeah, there's a new season out. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I just finished Bad Batch. Mandalorian season 3, episode 1 just came out
Today.
today.
Today. Wow.
Ash, you'll be coming up here starting shit. Panko,
We love it.
smack his booty.
Take him out. Take him outside.
Don't tell him that. You're reinforcing his behavior, Panko.
Well, given all the films
That's
and
Panko's husband.
episodes and
Ah.
of Star Trek, we're coming up on 900 episodes and all together. Yeah, Star Wars is like 70. So come back in 830 episodes and films and things. We'll talk.
It's just two completely different things, though, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Star Wars is space opera, space fantasy.
Yeah.
It's set in space, but it's nowhere means trying to be the same thing.
Yeah. I did find I watched what's it called recently. I can't remember one of the new Star Wars series. And
Andor.
Yeah, Andor. And after not liking anything Star Wars for quite some time, I actually thought Andor was actually quite good.
Yeah, the likes of Andor and The Mandalorian could be in the Star Trek universe. Particularly Star Trek is going into the area. There's areas outside the Federation. There's drug use. There's nitty gritty places. And places like the Mandalorian's all set in the. I could see how Mandalorian could be a Fenris Ranger, for example. It's not that far apart.
Star Wars
Not
is
anymore.
Harry Potter in space, says Mr. Tavikins. I have seen that. Have you seen that sort of comparison of Star Wars and Harry Potter?
No.
Where like a bearded wizard leaves a baby with an auntie and uncle,
Yeah.
to hide him from the bad
And
guy
then comes
because
back later and trains him how to do tricks and levitate stuff. And
yeah.
yeah.
And,
ya.
yeah, it helps him how to wield a stick, and use the force, or takes him eventually he goes to a wiser wizard who completes his training, so he can face off against the great evil. Yeah, it's quite funny. Rogue One.
Very cool.
Rogue
The audience
One. That's my
average was
problem.
5, by the way.
Wookie's right. Rogue One. Like, name a character in Rogue One, apart from Andor, because I've already mentioned that one.
I can't. Mads Mikkelsen. Just give me a minute. I'll get his name. He's Dr. Somebody.
I just know that
He's your neighbor. He doesn't count.
Mads Mikkelsen.
one with the Force. The Force is with me. I know that guy, but I don't know his name.
My God. Oh my God.
I don't know any of the names. That's the thing is Star Wars. You know all the characters' names, but Rogue One. Don't know. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Watch some Red Letter Media reviews. They're very funny. If you haven't seen the Star Trek ones, the Star Wars ones as well, they're all very funny.
Oh, Mr. Plinkett.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Rips him to shreds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Darth Vader was in it too.
Yeah.
Rogue One.
It's like Star Wars: The Phantom Menace is the worst film ever made. It's like he's got this voice, and yeah. Anyway,
We don't talk about the prequels.
sorry, what was the average of the audience score? I forgot.
5.
5. So where does that put it? Put it then in the scheme of things, it's
At the
last.
bottom.
It's royally at the bottom. This season has had a horrible kind of slightly downward trend, hasn't it? Yeah.
It gets better very quickly from here.
It keeps trying to go up. But overall, just can't help but go down. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's
big
a good
question,
run.
what we got next week?
What do we got? We got something good next week.
The Masterpiece Society.
Oh no, maybe not then.
What the hell's that
Yeah,
about?
it's where there's a colony of genetically engineered humans and in a space dome, and they have to repair the shields or they'll all die. And they haven't had any contact with any humans for 200 years. And now all these people with their new ideas and new technology come in and start interfering with their perfect society. It sounds like it made a great impression because it hasn't rang a bell with you at all.
Oh,
No.
it strikes me as one of those
They
really
didn't want to be probed.
No. Oh no, that's well. On the bright side,
Well, Felton's in it, so all cannot be lost.
no, that's true.
But I can tell you, it's better than this anyway, but it's not amazing. But the next 4 or 5 after that, up to the Lawaxana episode and episode 20 are really, really decent. Yeah, there's 6 really good episodes in a row there. Well, at least 5 of them anyway.
So we've still got a week or two to get through yet, and then it gets good. Okay.
Yeah. I know they'd be good for the most
We'll
of
work
the season.
through it together, people.
And then after the Lawaxana episode, there's another 6 in a row up to Time's Arrow Part 1. So yeah, we're hitting a real sweet spot here.
Yeah. I think Cause and Effects in there somewhere. I always like that one.
Yeah, Conundrum's in there.
Conundrum.
Perfect
That's
Mate.
another good one.
Borg, Imaginary Friend, The Next Phase.
Oh, the next phase. That's a good one.
The First Duty, Ethics.
Yeah.
They're
There are
Power
lots-
Play where
lots
we
of good
get evil
episodes.
data. They're all brilliant. We're really hitting a nice vein now.
Yeah. Cool. So we got that to look forward to next week then, the Masterpiece Society. Yes.
Lovely.
If we want help getting through next week, I did find I just had to, because I said I had a new boiler fitted. Well, to make room to have the boiler fitted, I had to clear parts of my garage out, and whilst I was doing that, I found 3 large bottles of ouzo
Nice.
in the corner of my garage.
No.
I was going to say, Maz, we could.
No.
No. Oh, no.
I'm not doing shots of ouzo next week. No.
Oh well, it was just a thought.
Good night, Stupla.
Good night,
no, nice,
Stupla.
Mazram.
Let's do it.
Mazram.
Reigning champion.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not ouzo then. We won't do that one
I
again.
mean, I could do 1 shot of ouzo, but I'm not drinking a whole bottle on
It's
my
really
bed.
aniseed, isn't it? Ouzo, I think.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Panko, thank you for coming.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Hit Ash one more time.
Do you say Panko Panko?
Panko.
Panko.
Panko, Panko.
Thank you, Panko.
I'm actually going to go off now and watch an episode of Welcome to Wrexham. I've started watching Welcome to Wrexham. Have anybody else seen Welcome to Wrexham?
No.
Nice
The arc is
movie.
good. So it's about humans on a spacecraft. You might enjoy it. It's
All right.
kind of trying to survive. It's kind of like that show Avenue 5, but they're not trying to be funny.
All right.
And, as I said, the Picard is back on tomorrow. Mandalorian is back on yesterday. So
yes.
yeah, we're hitting a nice vein. There's a few good shows on. So glad to see it.
Yeah, I'm going to have a good evening tomorrow night with Picard and Mandalorian. That's going to be good.
Yeah, I can't ask for better.
Ooh, I could do that too because Luda's on nights tomorrow night, so I'm home alone. I've said to him several times in this last week, "Can I put on Picard?" And he won't let me, but I am home alone tomorrow night, so I can put whatever I like on the television.
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
Do you ever consider just getting a second television?
Can do that.
Ah, it's nice to spend time with each other, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go upstairs, watch Picard for an hour, come back down again.
Well, I live in a bungalow, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't have an upstairs.
Walk sideways.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, I could sit in my room and watch it on my laptop or something, but yeah.
Nah, I bought a 50-inch TV and I can't watch it any other way anymore. Just, I need the full thing. Has to be done.
Yeah. I like a big TV. I like me some big television. Welcome to Wrexham is Ryan... what's he called? Deadpool.
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds and Rob.
Oh, he buys the soccer club, yes.
Yeah, they buy Wrexham FC. And it's just quite entertaining. It's like a following them in their journey of purchasing a football club and trying to level up Wrexham towns. it's quite amusing, you know.
Ryan Reynolds is my husband's
Man crush?
what is it? Get out of
Yeah, well, of course he is. He's all of ours, isn't he? You know, if anybody wants to be best friends with anyone, we all want to be best friends with Ryan Reynolds. The dude, right? He's so laid back, like just meeting anyone, he's just completely relaxed. Yet he is doing several film projects at any one time, producing series like this, buying football clubs, runs a gin company called Aviation Gin, which is taking the world by storm, owns his own mobile phone company, Mint, as well as his production company. It's like, and now he's managing a
and he has to spend, and presumably
Mr.
he's
Talakin
spending.
says he would have his babies.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Let's be honest, he's spending at least 15-20 hours in the gym a week. So let's
Probably.
fit that in as well.
Yeah, he looks fit. So, yeah, good on him. Good, I say.
yeah.
I just watched Free City again the other day. It's just so funny.
Yeah,
Cracks me up.
yeah. I've only seen that once. But yeah, that
So had I, and I was like, oh, I've got to see this a second time. It's so funny.
yeah,
Brilliant. Worth a second peek.
yeah. He has like a premiere night at the cinema in Wrexham. Free guy. Yeah,
Brilliant.
but yeah,
I can imagine that being a bit Phoenix Nights, but fair enough.
Yeah, it's like there's a series, a comedy about a small football team, an American football manager who comes over and tries to I forgot what it's called, like Ed Lasso or something.
Oh, Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Ted Lasso. It's like a real life Ted Lasso. Apparently.
All right, I might try it.
Yeah. Anyway.
We do a lot of after show chit chat, Wookie.
Well,
Just
yeah,
not
we
live.
normally sort of wrap up after the scoring, don't we? But last week we chatted for ages after show. Wookie likes our after show chit.
Wookie liked it, so I thought, well, we'll stay on and just chat for a bit this time. We'll do our after show bit with Wookie, so you know he doesn't feel left out.
Everybody else.
Exclusive behind the scenes.
Everyone else is gone, but you know.
The studio.
I think Ruth is still with us, and Ash, and Wookie, and Smiler, and there's quite a few people still with us.
Yeah.
Oh.
What else have I watched recently?
Second you started talking about Ryan Reynolds, my husband was like, "Oh, I'm not going to bed yet."
And I don't know if I mentioned this last week.
Ryan Reynolds to my husband is like Brent Spiner to me.
It's understandable. It's completely understandable. He can turn men.
Yeah, Brent Spiner is sexy. Yeah.
It's quite interesting as well because he buys it with a guy called Rob McCannley. He's in and produces something about Philadelphia. No.
Cream
Oh,
cheese.
Rob McElhenney, yeah.
McElhenney?
Oh God, he is brilliant. He is like TV's answer to oh God, now I can't remember his name. You know, the one he just basically changes his body shape each series of
Ah,
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Always
He
Sunny in
went like
Philadelphia, that's it.
one series he went like
Yeah.
obese for a series. Another series he got ripped with muscles for a series, like just because
Is he the
he
one
thinks
with
it's
brown
funny.
hair?
It is got brown hair, yeah.
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 But
I
he's
think he
quite
did a video
funny.
once
He's a
with
funny guy.
Imagine
He is
Dragons.
hilarious. I mean, he writes It's Always Sunny. Well, they all do. All the people that star in it, like Charlie Day and stuff.
But there's a British writer. There's a British writer on It's Always Sunny, and who loves football, and he was always watching football in the writers' room. So Rob started watching football with this English chap, and he got into it. And he was like, "Wouldn't it be fun if we could buy a football team?" And then they started looking at football teams, and then he realised, as a TV actor, he doesn't have enough money to buy a football team, and what he really needs is Hollywood money.
He's a movie star.
So he kind of cold calls Ryan Reynolds, who he's never met in his life, and says, "Do you want to buy an English football team with me?" And Ryan Reynolds is like, "Okay." so the two of them, they shop around and they find Wrexham and they buy a football team. They never met each other. It's quite funny, and it develops into this lovely sort of bromance between the two of them.
Ah,
It's pretty cool, but they're both very funny.
yeah, they are hilarious. I love It's Always Sunny. I don't know how they get away with still producing it. I can't even believe. I mean, it's so like the
Is it still
content
going
is so.
on?
Well, I mean, it was until last year. I don't know if it's stopped now, but
No, I think it's still
they
going.
had like 15, 16 series. And I mean, their content is like in this cancel culture now. I don't know how they get away with it, but it's just brilliant. It's so funny.
But
I've never
there's
seen
one
it.
episode.
Oh,
I haven't
Mark,
seen.
you've got to see it.
I haven't seen much of it now, but there's an episode where Charlie finds his father, and his father is Colin Meaney. But he didn't understand this growing up. He just thought he had a pen pal. He didn't realize it was his father he was talking to. And not only that, he didn't understand he was speaking Irish. And they have a whole scene where he's speaking Irish with Colin Meaney. And I just say, he absolutely nails it. He pronounces everything correctly. It's not muddled at all. Even though he didn't understand what he was saying, he was coached so well. I was just going, you expect it to be played for laughs and just be going, Florida, Blorda, Blorda. And I was like, no, he's actually talking Irish and it's perfect and I can understand him. Without the subtitles, I know exactly what he's saying. It's beautiful. So fair play to them for getting that right.
Right, I'm gonna have to watch that at some point.
Oh,
Sit
it's
down.
so
Yeah, I'm
funny.
gonna look up that
You will
show.
love it.
I
It's
love
great.
Charlie Day's
It's
character.
So rude. Yeah, it's naughty. It's a naughty show. I mean, their content, like, it's a bit close to but it's hilarious. I find it hilarious.
I think Smiler
I
Rainbow
think
might
because
like
they,
it.
they pull off this trashiness that you
Oh, yeah,
expect
the
them to
total
touch on
white
all
trash.
those horrible things and have what guys? What Wookie?
Nice,
that?
guys.
Guys,
Are you trying to get our attention?
I don't know.
Did we go?
He wrote nice, and then he said guys.
Did we disappear?
Yeah, I
on
would
you?
recommend. I would recommend.
Right, okay, I will check that one out. The other thing I've managed to get Smiler Rainbow to watch after many, 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 many years is Attack on Titan. Because
Is it good?
I've always been a big anime fan, and Attack on Titan is one of my favorites. And yeah, I've only recently managed to get Smiler Rainbow into anime. She always used to call it my Japanese porn, because whenever she came in the room, there'd always be something weird on the screen. And I never quite understood what it was.
Hentai.
But I've actually, and we're into the third season of Attack on Titan, and she's actually really enjoying it. So there you go.
Oh, nice.
Who knew that was possible?
I recently got into some vintage anime. I like the 80s and 90s versions. So I've been watching like Windaria, and I think what's the other one called? Jesus, can't remember it. Okay, Unico.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool. Very
Really
cool.
nice.
Classic.
What's the other one?
Yeah. Supreme Panko says, what about Tropic Thunder? That's a class film. That's a film that they couldn't make.
Robert
even when they
Downey
made
Jr.
it.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was into Naruto for a good while until they got tired.
There's too many episodes. I can't get into that now because I haven't got enough life left in me to actually finish it.
Ditto. I watched the reviews.
It's
You're
like
like,
1,000.
"Oh,
It's like 1,500 episodes.
Wow.
It's like I won't live that long.
Yeah, no.
And there's like a fourth of them I think 44% is filler.
Yeah. But as Smiler
I
Rainbow
stopped watching it
says,
because of filler.
if Smiler Rainbow says in their chat there, if anybody ever wants to get into anime or just watch something to see what it's like, if you're going to watch anything, just one anime, watch Death Note.
Did she like that one?
Yeah, Death Note is great.
It was nice. To
Yeah. It's about a boy, these Shinjigamis, which are like demons that live in another realm like gods. They can drop a book to the human realm, and if a human finds one of these books, they can write in it someone's name who they want to kill, and if they write their name, when they die, where they die, and how they die, and sign it, what they put in this book will take place. So this teenage kid finds this book and then sort of tests it out. He reads the rules and is like, no way, man. So he watches this thing on the news where this like rapist, who's gotten away with murder or whatever. So he's like, oh, I'll just try it out. And says, put something ridiculous in the book, and it like happens live on television. So then it's like he starts thinking about, I'm going to be a crusader for good, like by using this book. But over time, it gradually like corrupts his soul. So anyway, that's Death Note in a. It's good though. It's really good. Okay, right. Well, I think we've got to 10 o'clock. And,
Yeah.
We've hit the 2-hour mark. So thank you to Mazima Bob and Tabikins Turner and Chief Sean for coming along this evening. And going through this episode. Thank you to everyone in live chat, to Wookie, to Ruth, Ash, Panko, and Mr. Tavikins Turner.
Gavudion and Stuplum. Smiler. What have you said, everybody?
Stuplum, yes. I forgot Stuplum.
G-Star, did you say
We did
G?
like his pips, Rainbow.
Star wasn't here today,
G-Star wasn't here
Oh,
today. No.
but we can say
Shows how
bye to
tired
him
I am.
Yeah,
anyway.
does everybody like my pips?
Very pretty pips.
Yeah, pretty pips.
What if it was just a piece of corn?
They're redoing a special edition of Neighbours, the full series, using the latest 3D tech. Neighbours. Well, like the Australian show. Oh God, can you imagine watching the whole of Neighbours again? It's like,
Yeah.
why would anybody do that?
5 episodes a week for 30 years. That's
Yeah.
serious.
It's a serious commitment, isn't it?
And Blade the Immortals.
Yeah.
This is just kidding.
Yeah, I guessed, Wookie. I guessed. Anyway, see you later, guys. Have a good week, and we'll see you next Wednesday for another episode of The Next Generation. Cheers.
Ta-ra!
Let's leave him waving uncomfortably long before I hit the stop stream button. He says Sean stops. Bye, everyone.